high. That is going to drop down fire, but it will not be there. Devo with an incredible double tap.
Use creator code Rocket League in the Epic Game Store to unlock an exclusive Fortnite Rocket League decal. All jokes aside, big news came in today. Rocket League / Psyonix has just tweeted out that Epic Games bought Psyonix. They tweeted out 2 hours ago, and I'll have the tweet up on screen. And the tweet says, "Big news, we are extremely excited to announce that we are joining the Epic Games family. Read more in our blog." So, clicking on, the website and things like that, obviously, Psyonix has been acquired by Epic Games, so Psyonix is no longer a standalone, indie company, gaming company. They're now a part of Epic Games. So, what is this? They're talking about, what does this mean for the community? This is all from the blog post, which I have linked down below if you really want to get into it. We're just going to casually go over this. I have my points and things like that. But they said, what does this mean for Rocket League? In the short term, nothing will change at all. We're still committed to providing Rocket League with frequent updates, new features, content, and ways to play the game. In the long term, we expect to bring Rocket League to the Epic Games Store and to leverage our new relationship to grow the game in ways we couldn't do on our own before. We believe that bringing Rocket League to new audiences with more support is a win for everybody. So, what is that like? What does that whole statement mean right there? From this article and a Polygon article that I read, it pretty much means that Rocket League, I think in the middle of, I think in June, late June, there is going to be on the Epic Store. You can buy it on the Epic Store. And then I think later in 2019, it is eventually going to be exclusively on the Epic Store, meaning you can no longer buy it on Steam. But I do believe if you already own it on Steam, you will get to keep it on Steam. Although I'm not sure if they're going to make everyone switch over or how that's going to work. Obviously, if you own the game and they make you switch from Steam to Rocket League or Steam to Epic, it's not going to, you don't have to re-buy the game. You'll just have to just transfer over. They've done it. There's been games like that before. Spellbreak was a game that's in alpha or pre-alpha, and that was on Steam, and they switched over to Epic Games, and I was in the alpha for that, and that switched over just fine. So I'm not worried about that, but it is going to be exclusive eventually, and I think there's going to be pros and cons to this whole Epic acquiring Psyonix. But before we get into that, let's kind of go through what else there is. They asked if will the gameplay for Rocket League be any different. They said no, they're not going to change anything in terms of the Rocket League mechanics, gameplay, anything like that. So it seems like Epic is just going to be stepping in as a financial supporter. They said that the Psyonix team is going to be exactly the same. They're going to be the same team. The only difference is they're going to have the power and experience of Epic Games. And what I get from this is is that they need more money to do what they want to do. Whether it's grow the esports scene, grow the game, add more cosmetics, add more whatever they want to add, better servers. They couldn't do it on their own, and Epic was the way to go. And it is known that Epic gives better shares in terms of profit to developers. So them going that route, it totally makes sense. Epic probably dropped Psyonix a big old fat check to acquire them, and then they're going to be funding them and things like that. So they're going to be finishing off this esports season, the RLCS season 7, which will end in June 21st to the 23rd at RLCS season 7 LAN. And I think after that LAN, I believe is when we're going to be hearing the biggest changes of them all. That's when we're going to hear the big things of what the Epic acquisition of Psyonix is really going to be. But I think in these next couple of months, we're really not going to see much. I don't think, especially for the competitive scene, we're not going to see much. But I still think the biggest reason, like, we're kind of going to move on from what Psyonix has said, and you're like, why has this happened? I think it's just strictly money. Psyonix needs more money in order to do what they want to do. Epic, especially with the release of org items, Epic might have seen, or they already knew how much profit org items were going to bring into Rocket League, and so they jumped on. Epic's just a supporting cast to what Psyonix wants to achieve in the future. Whether Epic has a say and stuff, I don't know. But I've jabbered on too long about just the general stuff. Let's get into like the pros and cons of these things. And honestly, after thinking about it, there's more pros than cons. I saw a lot of people freaking out on Twitter, on Twitch, all that type of stuff, being like, "Oh, the game's dead," blah blah blah. But here it is. Fortnite, free to play game on Epic, on the Epic Store. Massive. Everyone knows. Some people might trash Fortnite, be like, "Yeah, it's a trash game, terrible game." My opinion, it's a good game. I don't like it personally. It's not my type of game, but it's a good game. You can't say it's not a good game. It's just you don't like it. Whether it's the genre, you don't like the battle royales, you don't like the style, the art, whatever it is, you just don't like the game. It's kind of like fun to hate on Fortnite. Just kind of like it was fun to hate on Minecraft a while, like years ago. It's just like saying, "Oh, League of Legends is a trash game," because I don't like I don't like MOBA genres. Or, World of Warcraft is a trash game because I don't like, MMOs. So putting that aside, Fortnite's a good game. Epic made Fortnite. And so obviously tons of people follow Fortnite and all that type of stuff. So having Rocket League on the page of Epic Store, all those Fortnite players are going to see it and be like, "Ooh, I might try this out." And what I'm going to segue into is Fortnite players aren't going to go like, "Ooh, I'm going to try out Rocket League," if it's still $15. I think this move is a huge indication in that Rocket League is going to be free to play. It's going to become free to play. 2019, Rocket League will be free to play, guaranteed. That's the most logical thing. Epic has shown that free to plays can make tons and tons of money. So that could be fantastic. And as soon as Rocket League goes free to play, I think the game blows up. It's already one of the top. It's been on the top 10 Steam concurrent players for the past, ever since it's released. It's been in the top 10 most concurrent players on Steam. So you make it free to play, the thing's just gonna pop. Meaning, when that happens, people are gonna buy Rocket Pass. People are gonna buy crates. There's gonna be more John Sandmans, out there making videos about opening 5 million crates in one episode. And so I'm not like that's fantastic. Like, free to play is the way to go. Growing the game is something that really needs to happen. And with that free to play, they're going to earn more money from crates and Rocket Passes. They'll get more of a share from it because they're no longer having to share anything with Steam. It's just straight into Epic. So I buy keys. The keys go to Epic. Epic owns Psyonix. It's a direct correlation. There's no third party, anything here. So that money can go towards the esports scene. So now we can see like Fortnite levels of money, assuming that it blows up in the free-to-play realm. And then you get to see the development get better. People complain about servers and bugs and things like that, like the audio bug with the goal explosions on Champions Field. Maybe that stuff doesn't happen anymore because Psyonix has more funding, can hire better coders or hire more coders or whatever it is, test people to test all that things out. So the game feels more polished. They can push out more updates, more cosmetics, maybe more game mode ideas. Maybe they can add volleyball now, or they can add, I don't know what they can add, but they can add new game modes to the game and have that benefit of Epic backing them and not having really to worry about money. And then another thing that goes with money is larger orgs. I mean, Rocket League has some big ones with G2, Dignitas, TSM, Rogue. Those are like I think. I don't know if those are the four biggest, but like NRG, NRG definitely. But I think those are like the five biggest I can think of. But what if like FaZe and Optic now want to join Rocket League? Like that would be absolutely insane. The amount of, or even like 100 Thieves. I don't know if they have an esports team, but if that whole, I'm pretty sure they do. But if that whole team like jumps on Rocket League now as well, you know how those three orgs have massive followings. So just imagine how much money Rocket League would make from people who followed FaZe, Optic, 100 Thieves, and because they see a 100 Thieves team. You know, they're like, oh, this game's sick. I'm going to see this. You know, because 100 Thieves is like, or FaZe is advertising Rocket League. So it could make tons of money for Rocket League, which then gets pushed back into, you know, the game to development and prize pools, and can make the competitive scene bigger. People have been constantly asking for RLCS to be 10 teams, you know, instead of 8, or 12 teams instead of 8. They can maybe do that now. More teams can be in the RLCS and RLRS. There can be more majors, more money, meaning more players get more exposure. More exposure means bigger names, you know? And overall, I just think everything gets better. Is what I'm trying to say. I was kind of rambling on. I don't know how coherent that was. But last point on the pros is I think this can be more cosmetics. So we already have a bunch of them. Psyonix does pretty well with them, but I think there's going to be more like you know how like Fortnite has the, I'm comparing everything to Fortnite. Fortnite has like the Marvel stuff, the NFL teams, all that type of stuff. I think Psyonix can do that. The game's based off a sport. Why don't we have EPL or La Liga or Serie A or Bundesliga or no one cares about the MLS, but the MLS, since we're in the States, or since the company's based in the States, the French league, what is it? I forget. The French League One, where Rocket League's huge in France. I think they can make tons of money off those like type of decals, flags, wheels. Heck, Barcelona and PSG are in the our orgs in the game. So I think Epic can really help out. They have the money to acquire those type of teams. You have hockey teams. You know, soccer and hockey are probably the biggest two comparisons for Rocket League. And you can have NFL teams if you want, or Marvel Cosmetics, stuff like that. I think can really be put in the game because of the power and money that Epic has, and what they've done with Fortnite. Companies will trust Epic to do, you know, the appropriate, you know, thing that, hey, Epic wants us to give them the rights to put Marvel things in Rocket League. Should we do it? Yes, it's Epic. Whereas if Psyonix were to do it, they're like, I don't know. It's Psyonix. They're not as big of a name. We don't know if they have the money to continuously sustain what we want. But Epic definitely can. So those are the pros. Let's go into the cons. The Epic Store. See, this is the thing. I don't know everyone's fuss about the Epic Store. I don't know why they hate it. I don't know why people are boycotting it. I'm putting in the cons. That way you guys can tell me. All right? I really don't know. The Epic Store, I know people get pissed off about exclusives, but like Origin does exclusives. Like Steam isn't a... People are like, oh, I don't want to have to download another like game library or whatever. It's like, bro, if you want to play WoW, Hearthstone, Diablo, Overwatch, you have to download the Blizzard. No one complains about that. or Call of Duty. Actually, I don't know if that was exclusive. Destiny 2. No one complained about that, but as soon as Epic comes in and does it, everyone kind of freaked out. And I don't know why. But like Epic has shown that they give more monies to developers compared to Steam. So I'm just a little confused on that hate, but it's there. So I listed it as a con, even though I don't really think it's a con. Maybe I'm just not knowledgeable enough. That could be the case. I'm dumb. But my only real con is the Steam Workshop. What happens to that? I have tons of Steam Workshop maps. Lethamir's been a big Steam Workshop map guy creating things. Now, one good thing in terms of that is Rocket League's made in Unreal, which is Epic made. Therefore, maybe building maps and like custom maps and things like that, or new game modes, will be a lot more fluid and like a lot more dynamic and easier for content creators, and so they'll be able to do that just fine. We don't have to worry about it. Or will it be like, will we lose all of our maps that were on the Steam Workshop once it becomes Epic exclusive? That's my main concern. Is will we lose all of our Workshop maps? Because I have tons of them, and I love them, and I use 3 of them every single day. So I'm kind of concerned about that. But other than that, I don't really have any cons. I think new map making things could come to Rocket League because Rocket League is a Unreal Engine game, and Epic owns Unreal Engine. I think some good things can be good for that. So what's next? What's next is that in the end of 2019, late 2019, the game's going to be coming to Epic Store. And eventually it's going to become an exclusive at Steam. The game will remain on sale on other platforms, including Steam. In the meantime, is the quotations. I'm reading directly from a Polygon article. That's according to their press release. Epic and Psyonix say the game will continue to be supported on Steam for all existing purchasers, but the language sounds like Rocket League will become an Epic Games Store exclusive on PC. So I'll link all these articles down below. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Also down below. Let me know what you think. Are you excited? Are you scared? Is there something I'm missing? Is there a detail I'm not getting? Overall, I think it's a good. Overall, I think it's a good thing. I have some worries. I'm not too informed with the exact details and functionalities of Epic Games, but they made Fortnite the biggest game ever. Fortnite was literally played in Times Square on New Year's Eve. So I mean, I'm not terribly worried. I think the pros vastly outweigh the cons. So anyways, that's it for me. This is supposed to be like a 10-minute video, but I rambled on. I just wanted to do like one take, give you my thoughts. I didn't want it to be so formal. I think I'm gonna dip away from the formal things. But yeah, let me know what you think down below. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.